There was a surprisingly simple reason why the late Queen never went to Wimbledon very often. Elizabeth II hardly attended the world-famous tennis tournament during her 70-year-long reign. Unlike other royals, she spent almost no time in Wimbledon's royal box. Princess Diana regularly went throughout the 80s and 90s, and Prince William and Kate are now frequently in attendance. The Princess of Wales made a surprise visit on day 2 of this year's tournament just last week. But, despite ruling for 7 decades, the late Queen only attended the SW19 event 4 times. These visits were spread out, first in 1957, then 1962, 1977 and finally in 2011. After the death of her father, King George VI, the Queen became the royal face of the tennis tournament, appointed as patron in 1952. Despite this, it took her 5 years to make her first visit, and then her next 2 were spread over the following 20 years. After that, it was only 33 years later that she went to see Andy Murray play. But, there was a pretty simple reason why the Queen. According to the Daily Express, one royal expert said it was just because the Queen simply didn't like the sport. Royal biographer Brian Hoey explained the Queen's dislike for tennis in his 2020 book Royalty Revealed, A Majestic Miscellany. He wrote, "Tennis is not on the list of royal favorite sports." The author, who has penned 36 books about royalty, also claimed the Queen's only daughter Princess Anne is similarly not a fan of Wimbledon because she feels it is intimidating. Mr. Hoey added, "The Princess Royal is also not much of an enthusiast, saying that Wimbledon is too cauldron-like." In January 2017, the Queen stepped down as patron and passed the role on to Kate, who is an avid tennis fan. The late Queen's visits have always been in her capacity as patron. She last visited the tournament 7 years prior when she watched Murray beat Jarkko Nieminen. During that same visit, she also met several tennis stars including Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Novak Djokovic, and Roger Federer. Her visit to SW19 prior to this came in 1977, the year Britain's Virginia Wade won the women's singles competition. Before those championships, the Queen's last outing at centre court was in 1962, where she presented the Wimbledon trophy to Australian legend Rod Laver. And 5 years before that, in 1957, Her Majesty made her first visit to the championships during her reign, which was an especially historic year as Althea Gibson became the first black player to win Wimbledon.